Pour yourself a glass of Justerini and Brooks, because today we're going to Italy to talk Gialli, specifically Forgotten Gialli, more specifically Forgotten Gialli Volume 5. That's right, there's 5 of these. And is this the worst of the lot? Hard to tell, but we'll break it all down right now. It's no secret that I don't like Giallis. I've discovered actually through this channel and the amount of Giallis I've had to shove into my eyeballs that I don't really love the genre as much as I thought I did. I've seen way more disappointing Gialli than I've seen any other genre in my life. So I'm not a big fan. And for something called Forgotten Gialli, well, in my mind, I think it was probably forgotten for a reason. Let's talk about the movies real quick. There's 3 movies on this box set. There's White Dress for Marielle. That's how they pronounce it, so that's how I'll pronounce it. Tropic of Cancer, and 9 guests? I always get that wrong. 9 guests for a crime. I hadn't seen any of those. Check out this box, though. I mean, this is really, let's be honest, what most collectors will buy it for. The box. The beautiful artwork, which at the end of the day, you're really only seeing half of. Not even a quarter of. Let's talk about the movies. I'm going to go in the order that they put on the box. So we'll start with White Dress for Marielle. A very awkward name for a very awkward movie. White Dress for Marielle runs 1 hour and 30 minutes. Here we have yet another Italian movie full of nonsensical excess. There's a ridiculous dinner scene in the middle of this movie where the characters dress up in costumes, have a crazy chicken meal, and then watch a black girl dance naked for an extremely long time. I should also mention that this happens nearly 50 minutes into the movie, and we still have no idea what the plot is. This is a story of a woman named Marielle who is trapped in her forest mansion by her husband, who may be slowly poisoning her. She's able to get a message out to some friends, and they arrive for what they think is a weekend of fun. But if you ask me, it was more a weekend of tedium. The main issue with the movie is that it's more of an art house movie than a traditional giallo for the first hour. As a matter of fact, it isn't until 58 minutes into the movie that we get our first death. The good news is the last 30 minutes of the movie is death after death, with an interesting story payoff and reveal in the finale, but not one that delivers a lot of surprises because you can kind of guess what's going on. The second half of the movie certainly saved it from falling lower in the rankings, but overall I still think the film wasted too much of my time. You do get a gaggle of special features here, including a 20-minute interview with the director, a 55-minute interview with actress Ida Galli, an audio essay that runs 17 minutes by Rachel Nesbitt, deleted scenes, and inside sleeve artwork. Not necessarily reversible, but just a little something to give you something interesting to look at when you're pulling your Blu-ray out of the case. This had all the things I hate about, well, I'm not going to say Italian movies in general, but we'll say Gialli in general. The stupid sexy nonsense bullshit where you're just wasting time. It's always about middle-aged, unattached people getting together, drinking, and whoring about, and then all of a sudden somebody dies. But at that point, in my opinion, I'm so fucking bored that I could care less about what's happening. As a matter of fact, the movie almost seems to not even give a shit that there's a killer on the loose, and it's more focused on them wandering around the house, you know, guys dressing up like girls, them exploring nooks and crannies and talking and all this stuff. And like I said, the first half is very much like an art house movie. It feels very loose and unstructured. I think that's the best way to put it. And so that's where the art house comparison comes into it. But once the killings start an hour into this 90-minute movie, then it really kind of takes off. And for the most part, satisfies that craving, you know, scratches that itch. I didn't hate it, but I did not love it. 3 stars. For White Dress for Marielle. I'll never watch it again. I absolutely won't. But I think as a whole, it works. I just wish that there was a lot less of the fluff from that first hour. Burns so good. Tropic of Cancer, in my opinion, is a disaster of a movie. I absolutely hated it because I had no fucking clue what was going on. Let's break the plot down. Tropic of Cancer runs 1 hour and 34 minutes. This was, in my opinion, honestly, complete garbage. At no time during the watching of this movie did I know what the hell was going on. There's a preponderance of characters, and they're all discussing something, but they've decided to leave me out of it. All I know is a young couple heads to Haiti to visit a doctor friend who has some kind of formula that everybody wants, and then folks start dying that I assume have been established in the movie, but it's hard to keep track. The main gal keeps having dreams of naked black guys, and there's a voodoo ritual scene. There's also a chubby white gay guy who loves peacocks, and there's a French blackmailer or something. None of this made any sense, no matter how hard I tried to connect the dots. It's almost as if the movie didn't care whether I knew what was happening, and if the movie didn't care, I didn't care. Sure, there's deaths sprinkled throughout the movie, but when it all feels so random and the story is unclear, then the deaths are essentially window dressing. I wasn't sure who was who or who was blackmailing who and who was what, and when we get to the finale, I still didn't understand what was solved. This is the worst kind of script in my opinion because it forgot its audience. Of course, I'm only speaking for myself, but since this is my review, all I can say is the film failed me. In terms of special features, you get a 33-minute interview with the writer-director. You get another audio essay by Rachel Nesbitt that runs 18 minutes. You get outtakes and some more inside sleeve artwork, which is like a foot, a man on a foot. I don't even remember if that was in the movie, to be honest. This is such an enigma to me. I watched the whole movie. I paid as close attention as possible. I didn't pick up my phone to answer texts or read emails or anything. I was like, what is happening right now? This movie needs to tell me what's going on. Characters would have dialogue, and at the end of it, I'd be like, what the fuck are they talking about? Who is this character? It was so badly done in terms of introducing characters, introducing why they're there, who they are, and why they're integral to the story. I still don't know what the story is about. I think it's about a doctor who has a magic formula or something, or about drugs. I have no idea. And frankly, I don't give a shit because the movie didn't want me to give a shit. So you know what? I'm on your side, movie. If you don't want me to care, I won't care. I really tried to like it, but there's just nothing here to latch onto. I had an impediment. I couldn't understand anything. Characters would meet up. Oh, I think I've seen that guy before. What are they talking about? Who? What is happening now? Okay, now why is that person there? Why did that guy die? Complete nonsense. 1 star, in my opinion. Tropic of Cancer is probably the worst movie I've ever seen from the Forgotten Gialli box set. Now, don't quote me on that because I've forgotten the rest. Oh, by the way, this is the last Forgotten Gialli box set I have to review. I mean, unless they release another one before the year's over. I hope not. Let's put a cap on it with 9 guests for a crime. This one had all the right ingredients, but falters because we get more of that sexy fucking bullshit that takes up too much screen time. 9 Guests for a Crime runs 1 hour and 31 minutes. Here we have yet another slow-paced Euro thriller that's more concerned with a bunch of middle-aged people drinking and cavorting in sexy nonsense. A group of friends and family members head to an island for the weekend, and we get scene after scene of random couples hooking up. Sure, you've got wall-to-wall tits, but it's also boring and unengaging because it feels so melodramatic. Early on, we get a hint that there's a killer on the loose on the island, but the film is clearly more interested in exploring the dynamics of the married couples, and that's what I'm the least interested in the film exploring. Another problem with the movie is that there are so many characters, and we don't actually know how they're related to each other. So when they collide, it means absolutely nothing because we have no context for their backstory. It's almost as if the movie started without us and we came in 20 minutes late. I think it's crucial for an ensemble movie to introduce its ensemble so the audience can play along at home. But just tossing a whole bunch of strangers at us and hoping that we'll play catch-up rarely, if ever, pays off without a little help from the script. The last 20 minutes of the film are actually pretty good, and the reveal, while not a complete surprise, offers up some good tension. I just wish the rest of the movie had a little bit more tension and less sexy nonsense. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. But if there was more of a focus on who is who and why we should care, then the proceedings would have meant more to me. I'm personally more interested in the murder mystery aspect and the thriller aspect of a giallo, and not so much watching a 50-year-old man make out with a 20-year-old woman, which seems to be the main thing that the filmmakers are down to clown with. I want a plot. I at least want a through line. I at least want characters I can connect with and understand. So when things happen to them, I'm like, oh, I'm really sad that happened to Charlie, because I know that that's a bad thing for Charlie. By the way, nobody here is named Charlie. I don't think so, but you get my point. A movie that has 8,000 characters and we have no context as to how they're related or how they're connected doesn't really help you absorb the material. But if there was more of a focus on the who done it and why done it, instead of leaving all that for the last 20 fucking minutes, I think I would have enjoyed it. I'm gonna go 2 stars for 9 guests. I wish it was a little better and it really had all the the right ingredients. It almost felt like Anthropophagus at one point, because it's a whole bunch of people coming to a deserted island. I'm like, oh, anything can happen now. As a matter of fact, right in the beginning, almost like right before the 20-minute mark, we get a kill. So I'm like, oh shit, okay, this is gonna be great. And then we just get, naked scene after naked scene, which I'm not complaining. I love the nudity, but nudity does not make a movie. A plot makes a movie, and the main issue was this felt like episode 2 of a series. We didn't know who everybody was, so somebody could be making out with their sister, and I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. And the movie's not going to tell you either, which is a shame. By the way, if you're curious, yes, it does have artwork inside. Ooh, look at that. Special features on this last movie include a 27-minute interview with actor Massimo Foschi, another Rachel Nesbitt audio essay that runs 15 minutes, and that's it, baby shit. That's all she wrote. Forgotten Gialli Volume 5. If you would like this copy, well, you can come to me, and I'll sell it to you at Black Friday price, because I'm not hanging on to this one. Email me. In the description, you will find my email. Go ahead and send me a message. There was somebody who's interested in it. If you get back to me first, it's all yours. But if I don't hear from you, the next person who is down to clown will grab it. Email me and I'll give you a price and all that good stuff. Like I said, Black Friday price. I'll give it to you for what I paid for with the subscription, which is apparently a good thing. I don't know. I'm done. I'm done with Vinegar Syndrome, man. Done. Good to see you, pal. I hope you're well. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, subscribe so you and I can hang out again and talk cinema. Remember, we can disagree. We can still be pals. If you like the box set, please let me know. And let me know why. I don't mind long comments, because that, it shows me your point of view. I appreciate that very much. So if you loved it, let me know why. I'm very, very curious. If you hated it, let me know why as well. Again, the party continues in the comments down below. I need to refill my glass and prep that for shipping. My friend, take care of yourself. I love you very much. This is your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos. You are amazing. I'll see you on the flip side. But for now, I bid you adieu.